hard at work in the Overdiepse Polder, and until 2015, it's not just farmers working here. A huge change is coming. The heights of dikes will be adjusted, mounds will be built, farmers will rehouse, and old farmhouses will be removed. Over 10 years, a mound plan has been developed together with the inhabitants of the Overdiepse Polder. The farms of 8 out of 17 families living and working in the polder will be built in a mound 6 meters above ground level. Over the centuries, rivers have had increasingly less space. They are wedged between ever higher dikes, and more people live behind the dikes. At the same time, the level of the land behind the dikes has dropped through subsidence. It also rains harder and more often, forcing rivers to handle more water. Although the Dutch have a reputation for successfully fighting against water, the 1993 and 1995 water disasters demonstrate that increasingly extreme weather requires a different approach. Not fighting against water, but giving water more room. The government is therefore taking measures to better protect the river area from flooding in the future. The rivers IJssel, Rhine, Lek, Maas and Waal will be given more room at more than 30 locations. These measures form the Room for the River program, a government program which, together with the regional authorities, is responsible for the safety of around 4 million Dutch people. The Overdiepse Polder is one of those locations. The Brabantse Delta Water Board is responsible for carrying out the project. A special project, because the residents themselves got together over 10 years ago to form a united interest group and drew up the mound plan themselves. A noteworthy fact that is clearly displayed on the construction signs in the polder. The province of North Brabant adopted the plan and further developed it together with the residents. The Overdiepse Polder is located near the village of Waspik in the municipalities of Waalwijk and Geertruidenberg in North Brabant and covers 550 hectares. It's located between 2 rivers, namely the Oude Maasje and the Bergse Maas. The level of the existing polder dike on the Bergse Maas will be lowered, so during extremely high water, the river water can flow through the polder. As a result, the water level in the river will drop by 27 centimeters, and together with measures in other locations along the river, it will fall tens of centimeters more. This happens on average once in 25 years. Urban areas, such as Den Bosch, will be protected by this measure. A new winter dike will be built along the Oude Maasje on the southern border of the Overdiepse Polder, so the water flowing into the polder is retained and stays in the polder. On the north side of this new dike, 8 mounds will be built, which will accommodate 8 farms. The families who will not live on a mound will continue farming elsewhere. The mounds cover over 2 hectares. They are built up from different layers of sand. Part of it comes from the polder itself, from soil that was deposited there more than 100 years ago when the Bergse Maas was dug. Once a mound is ready, a start can be made building a new home and farm. And because the upper layer of the mound is topsoil, the trees planted there will flourish. Viewed from the field or pasture, the mound is 6 meters high. For years, the residents have been busy with the layout of their mound. Everyone wants an as perfect as possible living and working environment, a home and business that meets all the requirements of a modern agricultural enterprise. When a family has moved from the polder onto a mound, the old farmhouse will be removed. When all the mounds are inhabited and the dike on the Oude Maasje has been raised, the current dike on the north side will be lowered, ready for the water. A large area has been reserved for nature. With the construction of new trails and roads, cyclists and walkers can enjoy a pleasant trip around the polder, and anglers will have their own location. The project will be completed at the end of 2015, and the new Overdiepse Polder will be a fact. a sustainable agricultural use of land with room for the drainage of excess mass water.